All right, guys. So let's discuss about marital rape, and we have discussed this a lot in our ethics paper. So, what is ethical and what is legal? All those things we have covered. So, if you look at marital rape from legal point of view, as of now, it's not a crime, but there are other sections in which we can bring in marital rape also. Like it can be considered as a domestic violence. For that, there are different sections. So here, what we will be focusing is what is marital rape and other things in the context of the recent debate. Okay. So in the ethics paper, we have discussed it is not necessary that whatever is not ethical is not legal also. Here, legally, there is no issue. Issue can come if other sections are added. Okay, so let's get into the details of it. And you can see marital rape was a very critical issue, which has been overlooked in India for a long period of time, and the discussions are going on. And it is also affecting n number of women, countless number of women across the length and breadth of the country. So we have seen that the story of Vinida, 34-year-old from Madhya Pradesh, exemplifies the struggles faced by many women trapped in abusive relationships. For over 12 years, she endured sexual violence from her husband and highlighting the difficult reality where consent is often disregarded within the confines of marriage. So when we discuss about rape under Section 376, if you see that consent is what is required, but when it comes to marriage, consent is automatically there. That's the context. Okay, so let's get into the details of it. Now, the legal aspect is what we need to cover, and then we will discuss further. So, if you look at the Indian law, marital rape was not recognized as a crime. Okay, so this legal gap stems from colonial era and the view that women as a property in the hand of their husbands. So if you look at IPC defines rape under Section 375, and the punishment is given under Section 376, but provides an exception for marital relationships. Because in marital relationship, the consent is actually automatically considered. Now, consequently, the husband's sexual violence towards his wife was not recognized as rape or not categorized as rape, leaving the victims, the wives, without any legal remedy. But remember the Section 498, which comes as domestic violence, and the Domestic Violence Act is different. That that is of course can be taken into consideration, but marital rape as such is not a crime. It won't come under the 376. Okay, so let's look into the certain surveys here. As you see, the statistics we will try to analyze here. And the National Family Health Survey presents alarming statistics regarding sexual violence against married women. And it reveals that a staggering 83% of women between 18 and 49 have reported experiencing sexual abuse at the hands of their husbands. And these figures expose the extent of problem, but also not just the that they're facing the marital rape, but their peace and their entire life is actually getting disturbed. Okay, so these figures expose the extent of the problem that we have, and also indicate that many cases remain unreported due to societal stigma and fear of repercussions. See, most of the women, they are not willing to raise complaint against their husbands, and they will take that sexual violence within themselves. So, and the social stigma is also there. Okay, so that's the reason why the number of complaints are very less. If you look at the historical context, historically, the perception of marital rape had been influenced by patriarchal norms and outdated beliefs about women's rights. In many cultures, women have been viewed as the property of their husbands, leading to the acceptance of sexual violence within marriage. So this mindset persists even today, and that is actually contributing to the reluctance to criminalize marital rape. And you can see despite all these widespread recognition of the issue in other countries, still we are not able to take it as a crime or added this in the legal sections. If you look at the global trends, so you can see here All these I have mentioned, colonial era, the global trends we can look at. And globally, around 150 nations have criminalized marital rape, recognizing it as a violation of women's rights. So this shift actually reflects the changing societal attitudes towards the consent and bodily autonomy of women. In contrast, India continues to lag behind, with the government resisting to call this or to classify marital rape as a crime. So this discrepancy raises questions about the commitment to women's rights and equality in India. So that's again a big issue. Okay. Now, what's the position of the government? If you look at Indian government, it's consistently opposed efforts to criminalize marital rape, arguing that doing so would destabilize the institution of marriage, and marriage is considered as something which is sacrosanct, right? So, recent affidavits filed by the government and the court have asserted that recognizing marital rape as a crime is unnecessary and could disrupt societal norms. Okay, so they want to maintain the status quo. And this position reflected deeply entrenched patriarchal mindset that prioritize institutional stability over the individual rights. So you are looking for, your traditional beliefs and the norms and values instead of, traveling with the social change or modern world and modern norms. Now, if you look at the legal challenges and the opinions of the court. Legal challenges surrounding marital rape have reached the Supreme Court also, where various petitions seek to criminalize the act, but the government's opposition has stalled the progress. It stopped all the progress and it's not moving forward. And the Chief Justice of India during discussions has implied that marital relations inherently involve consent. So even the CJI is also of that opinion. When you are getting married, means it's consent. Now you don't want to seek consent every day when going to do that. Okay, right? So that's the issue here. So further, creating the issues here, and that's what the complication is all about. So when you're getting married, means now you don't want a special consent or anything. How can you know whether she have consent or not, right? That's a big issue and challenge here and the complication here. It's automatically means you're signing the marriage certificate or paper. That means now that's a license, right? Or it's a consent, inherent consent. Or the debate, surrounding on the societal perception of marriage and the consent and need to have changes also. So the psychological impact, if you look at the psychological impact of marital rape on victims can be devastating more than the normal rape, because you are staying with that person throughout your life, right? Women subjected to sexual violence within marriage often face significant mental health challenges, including chronic depression, anxiety, and post traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. And the stigma surrounding marital rape often isolate these women, preventing them from seeking help or reporting their experiences, perpetuating a cycle of abuse and silence, and it keep on going on. So that's another issue. So you can see depression, anxiety, and all these, and isolation, physical impact will be there, the trauma, and that lead to health problems and the sleep disorders. And many victims remain silent. Okay, so in the context of family, actually. Give me 1 minute, guys. Right. Okay. Now, yeah, two more slides. Awareness and reform. So the need for awareness and the reform. Now, what does the solution? The awareness campaign, raising awareness about marital rape is very crucial for fostering a societal shift in attitudes towards women's right and consent. So many women may not recognize their experiences as abusive due to societal conditioning. Okay, and willing to sacrifice for the family. Education and advocacy can empower victims to understand their rights and seek justice. Legal reform is essential to ensure that the marital rape is recognized as prosecuted and and also considered as a crime. So as of now, the position is it's not a crime, though it is not ethical, but it is not recognized as a crime. Now, what could be the conclusion? If you get a question on this, what could be the conclusion? You can talk about government criminalize marital rape, okay, and citizens' role, media role, NGO role, all these you can talk about. So the ongoing struggle for the recognition of marital rape in India reflects a broader fight for women's right and equality. As society grapples with these issues, it is very imperative to challenge outdated norms and advocate for legal challenges, and that will protect women, or that can protect women, or the victims, I would say. Only through concerted efforts we can hope to create a society where women feel safe and valued, free from the threats of violence within their own homes. Now, when it comes to marital rape, it's a very critical situation that they are feeling threatened in their own home, and even after that also they are living in that very home, and that is again affecting the mental health, and again further physical health and everything. So that's the gravity of this. So I hope you understood. So we'll stop it here. And thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.